A lot of measures have taken place in order to double farmers income or increase farmers income, but nothing led to substantial increase in those incomes. So can a little farm policy tweak help in increasing farmers income? Well, this is the question of the day. Hi everyone, welcome back to Equipoise classes. I'm Surbi, and in today's video what are we going to do? We are going to do one of the important economics topic, but we've picked it up from the newspaper, and we'll read directly from the newspaper and understand the concept and the logic behind it. So I'll quickly share the screen so that we can begin our video. Okay, all right. Just give me a minute so that I can adjust the screen. All right, I think that's perfect, guys. So the title of the article is Will Farm Trade Policy Tweaks Lift Farmers' Income? So can it lift farmer income? Is it possible? So that is what we are going to do. Okay, I'll change the color of the pen as well. Fine. Okay. So, okay. Last week, India has initiated multiple changes in farm trade policies across crops like oilseed, onion, basmati rice. Coupled with ample rains, this is likely to boost rural income in the Kharif harvest season beginning October and revive consumer demand. So we want to pick up the consumer demand because if you know the total income or aggregate. So if we see y is equal to c plus I plus g plus n minus x in economics, like the expenditure, the total GDP is the expenditure by each sector. And if we assume there are four sectors: household sector, firm sector, government sector, and external sector. So this is the expenditure by each of the sectors. Consumption expenditure is the expenditure by household sector. Similarly, investment is by firm sector. Then government sector does government expenditure, and external sector is net exports. So consumer demand or consumer expenditure still constitutes approximately 60% of the total national income. So that means consumption expenditure is the highest contributor. So we need to further increase the consumer demand, because lately we are seeing that consumer demand has taken a dip, or it has fallen. So what are we trying to do? Since we are witnessing, India is witnessing a lot of rainfall since August month. So which is why it is likely that there are some farm policy tweaks, and it may help the farmers income, boosting in the farmers income. So that is what we are going to read. So first, let's see this graph. What is this graph saying? Agrarian stress. India's farm trade balance took a hit in recent years. So India's trade surplus in agriculture products, it is in $1 billion. So that means India is, so what is trade surplus? Trade surplus यहाँ पे लिखा भी है, they've given value of export less imports. All right, and this is sourced by Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So as you can see, trade surplus was 17.7, 17.5. It has taken a dip, or it has fallen slightly. All right. So what are the trade policy changes? What has happened last week? We are saying there have been trade policy changes, but what have been the trade policy changes? So last week, India removed the minimum export price of $950 per ton on premium basmati rice. So that is the minimum amount that is going to be charged on basmati rice exports. So we did set a limit. Now we have removed it. The government has removed it. Okay, the move timed to upcoming polls in Haryana. So since there are elections coming up, so they don't want to risk it. So that is why they are uplifting or removing this particular ban. A major growing sector follows cooling local prices and the prospect of plentiful Kharif harvest beginning October. The government also removed minimum export price of $550 per ton on onion and cut export duty, the extra charges that we put on export, so that we don't export a lot of onions, and we grow it for domestic demand. We are trying to curb exports by putting up export duty. So we have removed that export duty, or we have reduced the export duty from 40% earlier to now 20%. We have halved the onion export duty. So it also hiked import duties on all crude and refined edible oil to 27.5% and 36% respectively, to guard interest of oilseed farmers. So what are we trying to do? We are putting up import duty so that we don't tend to import a lot of oil seeds, and we are trying to remove the export duty so we can produce, and our domestic, our local people are benefited by the domestic manufacturing or domestic growing. At the same time, even exports are taking place, so even the external sector is getting benefit from our when we grow oil seeds. So that is the entire criteria. This will pacify soybean farmers protesting against the recent crash in wholesale prices. So there have been price reductions. So now, they may be at ease. So what will be the impact of farm income? So how will this impact farm income? Matlab, where is the link? So we have taken into consideration that what have been the policy changes, that minimum export prices have been curbed or have been removed. Export duty have been, have seen a dip, and import duties have been removed. So this has been the case. Okay, in the three cases, basmati rice, onion, and oil seeds. That three cases we are witnessing. So how will this impact farm income? Okay, let's see. Data on Kharif sowing shows that this year farmers have planted larger area with rice and oilseed. This is what we have been reading even in the past article or the current affairs session, that even if the soil is not suitable for growing rice, but since rice is getting MSP, rice is getting higher yields and higher prices, so that is why farmers want to make up their profits. So that is why even if the soil is not supporting, they are still choosing to grow rice. And we took a case of Madhya Pradesh as well, and you can go and watch the previous videos, and you will get to see. I've been talking about agriculture a lot lately, so I think I've covered a lot of aspects in past articles. So yeah, compared to the 5-year average, so now this is the crux, that farmers have planted larger area with rice compared to the 5 years, last 5 years. Due to ample rains this monsoon, production of these crop is expected to robust. Okay, if production will increase, the easing of export restriction, at the same time export restrictions have been eased out, yani people can, farmers can export as well. So yeah, restrictions will help basmati growers earn a better price, because once you can export and once you have ample crops, so you can charge a better price. Then soybean prices are expected to recover from the current lows due to a significant hike in import duties, and benefit farmers from Maharashtra, which goes to polls later this year. So since there are right now elections are due in Haryana, and then later on Maharashtra will see elections, so that farmers get the benefit. And then this is all they've mixed up politics, and I always say that nothing, be it economics, be it agriculture, be it anything, is devoid of politics. Politics is everywhere in India. So yeah, which goes to polls later this year. If there are no major crop losses due to excess rains, farm income will improve. This will also lift rural wages and consumer demand. All right. Then what about food prices for consumers? Now, so now we've talked about, number one, we talked about what has happened. Then what are the policy tweaks? Then number two, we saw how that will impact farm income. Number three, now we are going to see for consumers that how food prices are going to get impacted for consumers. All right. So food price inflation was a modest 5.7% in August against 9.9% a year ago. So last year in 2023 in August, the food inflation was 9.9%. This year it is in August 5.7%. In coming months, price of cereals may dip alongside vegetables like potatoes and tomatoes due to higher expected output. When the output will be higher, as all you can see is that, if we see onion quantity, okay, and we see prices of onion, I'll just show you the graph. Prices of onion, this is demand, this is supply. All right. So what are we expecting if the production is increasing since rainfalls are better? So what are we expecting here? We are expecting that the supply will increase. Right now the price is this, supply will increase. That means the prices will go down. Okay, that is what we are saying, that we are expecting a cool down in newer prices. So since new crop arrives in October, however, inflation in oil seeds, which was in negative territory for months, could rise due to higher import duties. So oilseed prices have been negative, and so inflation in oilseed have been negative, have been seeing a negative trend. So it may increase due to import duties. So will this affect agri import and export? India has been a largest exporter of rice globally. India is largest exporter of rice. But after curbs were imposed in 2022 and 23, exports fell. Okay, as exports curbs on non-basmati varieties are still in place, gains in export volumes will be muted. How will we experience a gain in export if there are so many export restrictions? So that is the problem. The hike in import tax is likely to reduce India's cooking oil import bill, which was a staggering 1.4 trillion in 20 to 23. So this will also encourage farmers to plant more oilseed like sunflower and mustard in the coming winter crop season and reduce chronic dependence on import. So since there are lot many import duties and everything, there's hike. So we'll plan in winter to sow those crops and grow those crops. So because we know that import has been restricted, or import has been there's a higher import bill, and there's we're already we are facing restrictions on imports, so it's better to grow it globally, locally. Okay, so can these policy decisions be reversed? Exports and import policy decision aim to balance the interest of farmer and consumer. We need to balance both. So restricting exports is an implicit tax on farmer. In a way, it's a tax on farmer, because if a farmer is producing this much output, he's producing both for local use and global use. If you curb global sale, so their sales will get a hit, and they can't charge a higher price on global sales, because the global sales are no more there. So that is in a way tax only. No, you're charging them, yeah. So while import taxes can raise retail prices, farmers often complain that the government is more sensitive to consumer. So this is the case. If you are two siblings, and your siblings always say, your parents love me more or love you more. So there's always a debate when for parents every child is equal. It's like their fingers. So may not be in equal size, but both are important. So that's the case. So for government, consumers and farmers both are important, but farmers blame government that government is more sensitive to consumers, and consumer blame government that government is more sensitive to farmers. So that's the case everywhere, I believe. Yeah. So let's continue. Okay. Consumer prices, then prices at farm gate. What are the consumer prices? Consumer prices at which consumer is getting that particular crop, and farm gate prices are at which we are producing and we are farmer is selling. So that is farm gate prices. So whether these policy changes will continue will depend on the trajectory of retail prices. A record kharif harvest and low food prices may even prompt the government to ease existing curbs on non-basmati rice and sugar. So this has been the case. So this is just, we were in a way reading the prospects that if at all, if we tweak farm trade policy a little bit, if it can lead to increase in farmers income or not. And we were witnessing what has been happening and what is the case lately. So that was just the case. I think as economist, or as a general public, you should know that what is happening in our agriculture and farms. So this is why I bought this article for you. I hope it was useful in some or the other way. If not, it was just informative. So yeah, with that I would want to wrap up, but do share the feedback, guys, and like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. How do you feel about these videos? Join the Telegram link, which is in the description. The first link is of Telegram group, so join the Telegram group, and I would be the happiest if you do so. And just a little bit, like 10 seconds of yours and a subscribe button hit would mean a lot to me. So that's it. I'll see you with another video. Almost now I upload every day, so I don't know when I'll see you. I think I see you tomorrow with another video, or maybe on the same day also I'm uploading many videos. Yeah, guys, I did put up a poll on community asking what would you want from me in live classes. I'm planning to begin live classes on weekends. So yeah, Saturday and Sunday study time. So what would you want? And majority of you have answered that you would want CBSE class 12th economics questions and practice questions, previous year questions. So I think I'll go ahead with that. I am preparing on that, so that I bring up many good questions. And I do have some books which are not for sale in the market, but I do have that content and also the important questions for your board exams. So I think I'll be happy to share those questions as well and practice with you guys in the live session. And you can ask whatever you want at the same time during the live classes. So yeah, with that, I would want to wrap up, and thank you so much for showing so much of love to Equipoise classes. Truly means a lot. And take care, guys. Bye bye.